Welcome to Griffin's Gaming Guides. In this video we're going to go over how to acquire the Stonebreaker melee weapon in Remnant 2, which can only be acquired once you have the Hollow Heart, which drops from the Corruptor boss over in the Great Bole, providing you don't disable the Guardian. This is a tough one. Now you will need the Red Throne as your starting point on Yaesha, so if you don't have that one in your campaign, either play through Yaesha where you're then going to unlock Adventure Mode, or re-roll your campaign, bearing in mind you will lose all of your campaign progress, so be a bit cautious before you go ahead with that one. You then need to head through to the Widow's Court, which is a randomly appearing biome. It can appear anywhere, given the procedurally generated nature of Remnant 2. The Widow's Court could be just off the first area, or it could be one of your last that you find after spending hours on Yaesha searching for it. Either way, the Great Bole will be through the back of the Widow's Court. Now, ordinarily, taking down the Corruptor will be a lot easier if you disable the Guardian, as this thing just will not stop coming for you. It will detach its arms, throw them around, it's like the Terminator, this thing. It just does not stop coming for you. And in order to acquire the Hollow Heart, you have to take the Corruptor down without disabling the Golem. Now, you can take out the arms of the Guardian. Either way, it's going to be a tough fight, whatever you try and do. Now, every so often, the Corruptor will move around the arena on one of the 3 platforms. We have also made a complete web guide for taking down the Corruptor, whilst also disabling the Guardian. Link below the like button. If you haven't got that one done, check that out. But obviously, for this one, we need to do it whilst also leaving the Guardian alone. Just don't shoot at the Guardian's head, and you will have a much easier time not disabling the Guardian. You then need to focus fire on the Corruptor, especially when it fires its laser beam. If you always stay near a staircase as much as you can, whenever the Corruptor fires a laser beam, it will then be susceptible to heavy damage. Ordinarily, you're going to be able to find the weak spot for the Corruptor underneath it. Whenever you disable the Guardian, it then raises up, revealing a massive crit spot. But obviously we're not going to be that fortunate this time, because we need to leave the Guardian alone for the most part. So whenever it fires that laser, you want to unload everything you have. Just activate your mods. If you've got any mutators or any damage enhancing gear, make sure that you've got it all chucked on. As soon as that thing fires the laser beam, unload everything you've got into its face. Other than that, just keep taking pot shots, dealing with the Guardian arms, whilst just, and I can't iterate this enough, do not shoot at the Guardian's head. As if it's low on health, shoot at the head, it becomes disabled. You're then not going to get the Hollow Heart, you're going to get the Twisted Lazarite instead. Now, once you do take the Corruptor down whilst not disabling the Guardian, first of all, very well done in getting it done. You then need to head over to McCabe in Ward 13, and as long as you've got the Hollow Heart, defeat the Corruptor without disabling the Guardian, you also need 7 Luminite Crystal, which drop from any special enemy, and 1,000 Scrap, which you should have more than enough of if you're powerful enough to take down the Corruptor. Now, the Stonebreaker is a very, very large weapon. It's the largest melee weapon I've found. Obviously, I've been focusing on Yaesha primarily, as there just seem to be more collectibles, more weapons, more everything on Yaesha than anywhere else in the game. So I figured I'd jump over there for you guys and try and get as many videos out as possible. Obviously, we will be doing Losom and Nerud, as well as the Labyrinth and Root Earth. We've already run through the entire game, but obviously now we just want to go back through and get all of the collectibles. But anyway, back to the Stonebreaker. It's got a very nice ability called Fault Line, which melee charge attacks fire ground-based shockwaves, which deal 134.6 damage. I'm not sure who comes up with all this stuff, but that's what it does. And it costs 35 stamina to do. So as long as your stamina is fairly decent, you can inflict some incredibly heavy damage whilst doing charged or backstep attacks with the Stonebreaker melee weapon equipped, and it does take out lines of enemies. So that's how to acquire the Stonebreaker melee weapon in Remnant 2. I do hope that the guide's helped you out. If it has, do me a massive favour, as this one was so difficult, hit the sub button, it does help us out a great deal. Either way though, whichever you decide to do, enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you very much for being here, I do appreciate it, and we do look forward to seeing you back here at Griffin's Gaming Guides.